Alright, hello and welcome to another 7-round mock draft video, but today we're not doing the Minnesota Vikings. We are starting on a new adventure because we have 2 months to kill before the actual NFL draft takes place, and it's draft season. We've got so many prospects to talk about, we've got so many draft picks to talk about, so much speculation to go over. Why not bring everybody else in from around the league, all other fans of all the other fan bases, and let's get them involved too. Today we talk about the Detroit Lions. We're going to do a 5-round mock draft because that's all the picks that they have. I didn't do any trades, spoiler alert. We're going to do the Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers, wrap up the NFC North, then we will branch out. We will do the other divisions. So if you are a fan of another NFL team that is not the Vikings, the Lions, or another NFC North team, stick around because we're going to cover your team hopefully as soon as I possibly can. But like I said, we've got 2 months to go before the NFL draft, so let's fill some time. Let's branch out. Let's talk about all of these prospects that are coming into the league. And I'm going to do this as fair as possible. I'm going to do this unbiased. I'm not trying to ruin the Detroit Lions. I'm literally, honestly trying to give them the best draft class that they can possibly get. And hopefully I achieve that. Don't feel like you can't criticize me for these picks. Absolutely, if I get it wrong, hammer me with it. It's totally cool. I don't know the intricacies of every single team in this league. I try to, but that's impossible. Don't have the time to commit to it. But we're going to do the best that we can. So let me know what you think. I did a lot of these last year. Some of them good, some of them not so bad. Some of them pretty decent. And hopefully we can continue the winning ways of making NFL teams, fan bases satisfied with these draft picks. So here we go with the Detroit Lions first up. And they don't have very many picks this year. I think they only have 6 total. But nice news, or at least good news, they got 4 in the top 100, so this is going to be pretty sweet to get a lot of great players. So we start off with the first round at pick 7 overall, the top 5 available, which I will always show you in the interest of transparency to let you know who was on the board when I made these selections. The top 5 available at the 7th pick in the first round were Micah Parsons, Davonte Smith, Kyle Pitts, Trey Lance, Kwity Paye. Now, we just traded for Jared Goff. He has a huge contract, which they gave us another number 1 overall pick next year. So Jared Goff is here. He's got a huge contract. I would like to do Trey Lance, but I don't think that this team is in a position to use their number 1 or their first overall pick on a player that's going to absolutely sit for a year and learn. I don't think that. I don't think that this team is going to win more than 7 games. I think that's the ceiling probably going in, depending on what we're looking at come August. So I want playmakers. I want playmakers for the offense. We're losing a lot of wide receivers and free agents. I think that they probably tag Kenny Golladay. Maybe they even tag and trade him. But either way, I want weapons for Jared Goff to succeed in his new city with his new team. So the pick, Detroit Lions, round 1, pick 7, are going to select Davonte Smith, wide receiver from Alabama. I am aware of the size concerns. I also don't care, because if you look around the league, there are some players who played less than 190 pounds, who played less than 200 pounds, and they did just fine. One of those guys who's playing weights, I forget what year it was, but it was around 188, 190, was Keenan Mcardle. He did pretty well for himself. Davonte Smith is an athlete who gets open all the time, huge playmaker, and I couldn't be more excited to pair him with Kenny Golladay, TJ Hawkinson, and I think if we get a DeAndre Swift as a starting running back of this team, that surrounds Jared Goff with a nice set of weapons to secure at least, hopefully, some of the performances that he had with the Rams. Don't forget, I mean, people like to pick on Jared Goff for not being a great quarterback, but we've seen flashes of brilliance from him before. Don't forget the regular season game a couple of years ago between the Rams and the Chiefs where they put up over 100 points combined. Moving on, we are going to go to the second round, and we have the 9th pick of the second round, and these were the top 5 available on the board at the time. I really don't have to say too much of this because look at the name up there that's at the top. Like, he's still available, and this is pick 41 overall. That's kind of insane. So we're going to go with J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina. He is the pick, round 2, pick 9, 41 overall. That's just great value. That's too good a value to pass up. I know we need a linebacker. I know we need help on the edge. But getting, J.C. Horn to put on the other side of Jeffrey Okudah, get the secondary up to speed because we are in the same division as Aaron Rodgers. Maybe even Deshaun Watson comes to Chicago. That is still a possibility. So the fact that J.C. Horn is available at this spot, I can't pass it up. I just can't do it. I should have traded down, got a haul for him for somebody else that wanted him, but I'm going with J.C. Horn. here in the second round for the Detroit Lions. Moving on to round 3. We have the 8th pick in the third round. This is who was available at the time. Davonte Williams, Ronnie Perkins, Justin Hillard, Creed Humphrey, and Michael Carter. So we have both North Carolina running backs on the board here. We have a linebacker from Ohio State and a center from Oklahoma. But the guy that interests me the most is Ronnie Perkins. Not a lot of people are talking about him right now. There's a select few that are. But I think he's somebody, as time goes on, as time gets closer to the NFL draft itself, we're going to be talking about Ronnie Perkins potentially being a second-round pick. And with the Lions' 8th pick in the third round, that's what I'm going to go with. So the selection is Ronnie Perkins, edge rusher from Oklahoma. It's a different edge rusher class this year. It's not the same thing that we're used to in the past. I think even Kwity Paye, Gregory Rousseau in the first round comes with some risk. There isn't a polished edge rusher this year. Jalen Phillips is probably the most athletic, the most gifted, the most talented, but the injury concerns are real. Ronnie Perkins, I think, is a safe bet. We're not shooting for the stars, but this is definitely a double that could stretch into a triple with the right amount of coaching. And I think Dan Campbell is up for the job. Sticking in the third round, we have the 25th pick of the third round, and these were the players available at the time. Michael Carter is still on the board. James Hudson, Cade Johnson, Rashad Weaver, and Chaz Surratt. So we've got 2 more North Carolina players here. We have a tackle, a wide receiver, and an edge rusher. So the need is linebacker. We passed on Micah Parsons in the first round. I'm going to take Chaz Surratt, linebacker from North Carolina. I think that's a great pick. It's a good value for this spot at the end of the third round. So this makes me happy. We walk away with our top 4 100 picks being Davonte Smith, definite game changer, immediate impact player. We get Ronnie Perkins. We get J.C. Horn at a terrific value in the second round. And then we close out the top 100 with Chaz Surratt, the linebacker from North Carolina. Moving on, round 4, pick 7. These were the players available at the time on the board. Demetric Felton, Monty Rice, Quinn Miners, Quincy Roche, and Tutu Atwell. And we have a couple of Senior Bowl standouts in Felton and Miners. So really what the thinking here was, I thought about Quincy Roche. I really did. I took a long, hard look at Quincy Roche, another edge rusher, double up at the position. Let's get the defensive line. Let's get the trenches built up to speed. But Demetric Felton is just so intriguing. The Senior Bowl that he had playing as a wide receiver, he's listed as a running back, but I'm going to draft him as a wide receiver. So with the Lions' 4th round pick, I'm taking Demetric Felton, running back, wide receiver, UCLA. And the reason for this is I want more dynamic pieces, right? We got Kenny Golladay, he's a star in and of himself, TJ Hawkinson, Devontae Smith, Demetric Felton, DeAndre Swift. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend this, right? If we can get things clicking on all cylinders, and if Anthony Lynn can coach up the offense like he did in Los Angeles with the Chargers, hopefully this is close enough to that sort of amount of chess pieces that he had back there with Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, that we can get the most out of Jared Goff as possible. And Felton, I think, is one of those guys who we're not even close to seeing his full potential if he can make it as a wide receiver in this league, which I think he can. So very excited about pairing him with Devontae Smith, bringing him into the wide receiver room with Kenny Golladay. And our last pick, the Lions don't have many picks. I probably could have traded down, but I didn't feel like it. I wanted to stick with what they had. So the 9th pick of the 5th round, this was who was available. Drake Jackson, Hunter Long, Brady Christensen, Patrick Johnson, and Milton Williams. I took a long, hard look at Milton Williams. That's probably the pick that I should have made. The defensive interior lineman from Louisiana Tech. A lot of people are talking about him recently. And I think as we get closer to the draft, he's going to be another one of those guys that gets a lot of attention. Thought hard about Hunter Long, just having another tight end in the building from Boston College. But in the end, I went with Trench Insurance. I went with interior offensive line insurance. So the pick for round 5 for the Detroit Lions is going to be Drake Jackson, the center from Kentucky. This isn't to replace Frank Ragnow. I know he's amazing. This is just insurance for the interior offensive line. Maybe I bump him out to guard. He could be a serviceable backup. I just want some insurance in the trenches to make sure that Jared Goff is secure in his spot as the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. So that is the draft. 7/5 round draft for the Detroit Lions because they don't have enough picks to get all the way to the 7th round. So still drug this video on a little bit longer. Here is the final draft. They gave me a B+ for about every pick except for the Drake Jackson pick, which I thought was hilarious. So that is the draft for the Detroit Lions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.